Growing older can feel like an entirely new chapter in life, a stage where time seems more precious than ever before. Once you pass 70, you may find yourself cherishing the little things you once took for granted, from quiet morning cups of coffee to leisurely strolls in the afternoon sun. It's a phase in which health starts becoming more noticeable. You might ask yourself questions like, how many truly good years do I have left? Or, Beto, what can I do to ensure I keep my strength and vitality for as long as possible? These are natural concerns, and they reflect a universal desire to maintain both independence and quality of life well into our later years. Aging is not a one-size-fits-all experience. You've probably seen people in their 70s who are remarkably vibrant, still traveling, pursuing hobbies, and engaging actively with their families and communities. At the same time, you may know others who begin to slow down quickly, coping with various ailments, reduced mobility, and flagging energy levels. So what exactly makes the difference? While genetics play a role, current research tells us that certain lifestyle choices and subtle body signals can be far more telling than we once thought. In other words, a handful of crucial indicators, some of which may surprise you, can potentially shed light on how long and how well you're likely to live. In the upcoming paragraphs, we'll dive deep into 7 specific signs that experts have found to correlate strongly with longevity after 70. These are not random theories or quick-fix recommendations. They're grounded in scientific studies and extensive observations of populations worldwide. From your walking speed and grip strength to your social connections and stress levels, we'll explore why each indicator matters and how it can either uplift or undermine your quest for long-lasting health. It's important to note that knowing these signs isn't enough. Awareness should be the spark that ignites action. If you discover that your balance is a bit shakier than it should be, or your appetite has waned noticeably, the real question becomes, what will I do about it now? Because time, while precious, is still on your side when you choose to make gradual changes. Remember, the goal is not just to add more years to your life, but to enhance the quality of those years. A healthy 78-year-old with good mobility and a strong social network often feels happier and more fulfilled than a 70-year-old who isn't addressing underlying health concerns. So let's begin this journey of self-reflection and possibility. Whether you're in your early 70s or closing in on 90, it's never too late to make meaningful changes. These 7 signs can serve as your roadmap. By the time you finish reading, you'll have a deeper understanding of what your body might be trying to tell you and how you can respond in ways that bolster your well-being for the years yet to come. Sign 1. The telltale clue of walking speed. Walking is one of the most fundamental human activities, yet its significance in predicting longevity often goes unnoticed. Research consistently shows that individuals who maintain a steady, brisk walking pace in their 70s and beyond tend to live longer than those who slow down considerably. But why is this true? The speed at which you walk reflects a coordinated effort between your muscles, cardiovascular system, and nervous system. It captures everything from muscle strength and balance to heart and lung efficiency. When one of these elements starts to falter, walking speed is often among the first noticeable changes. For example, imagine 2 neighbors in their mid-70s, Alice and Bernice. Both women love taking morning walks around the neighborhood, but Alice maintains a lively step, rarely stopping to catch her breath, and navigates slight inclines or uneven sidewalks without much trouble. Bernice, conversely, finds herself pausing to rest on benches, breathing heavily even on flat ground, and sometimes feeling unsteady. This difference in walking speed and stamina suggests deeper distinctions in their overall fitness levels, possibly hinting at underlying issues like cardiovascular strain, joint instability, or reduced muscle strength. One powerful way to see where you stand is to time yourself for a short distance, like walking 10 meters or across a small park. Compare your speed to standard benchmarks for your age group. While the numbers can vary slightly by study, many experts note that walking at around 3 miles per hour, a 20-minute mile, or better, is generally considered a healthy pace for older adults. If your pace is significantly slower, or if you tire quickly, it might be time to evaluate your exercise habits, discuss potential heart or lung concerns with a medical professional, or look into balance and mobility exercises. The good news is that you can improve your walking speed with consistent, low-impact exercises. Brisk walks on flat terrain, gentle aerobic routines, or even water-based activities like aquatic aerobics can boost heart health and muscle endurance over time. Strength training for your lower body, think squats, heel raises, or working out with resistance bands, can add extra power to your strides. Flexibility exercises such as slow stretches or yoga poses also help your joints stay limber, further supporting a fluid gait. The key is to start at a comfortable level and gradually increase the intensity, giving your body a chance to adapt. All in all, walking speed is more than just a detail of how you get from point A to point B. It's a snapshot of your physiological well-being at any given moment. If you notice you're lagging behind your peers or feeling winded more easily, consider it a friendly alert rather than a dire prognosis. By proactively addressing these limitations through better cardiovascular care, targeted exercises, and lifestyle adjustments, you not only stand to extend your life, but also enrich the years you already have. Sign 2. The power of grip strength. And have you ever given someone a handshake and felt their hand weakly slip away? Or perhaps you've experienced your own grip losing strength during routine tasks, like twisting a stubborn jar lid or carrying a grocery bag. This seemingly small detail, your grip strength, has emerged as one of the most revealing predictors of overall health and longevity in older adults. Studies suggest that weak grip strength correlates with diminished muscle mass throughout the body, not just in the hands. When grip strength wanes, it can point to broader physical frailty and a higher risk of health complications in the future. At first, this connection might sound surprising. After all, isn't grip strength solely about forearm and hand muscles? The reality is that our muscular system works in an interconnected way. Weakness in one area often signifies a more widespread decline. For instance, if you're losing muscle mass in your arms, chances are you're also experiencing gradual muscle loss in your legs, core, and other areas crucial for stability and mobility. In medical settings, measuring grip strength offers a quick, convenient window into a person's overall muscular health without requiring elaborate tests. In practical terms, consider Edward and Harold, both in their late 70s. Edward occasionally uses a hand gripper device, does simple push-ups against the wall, and practices carrying light dumbbells for a few minutes each day. As a result, he can still confidently lift everyday objects and open jars with little trouble. Harold, on the other hand, avoids any form of strength training because he believes it's too strenuous for his age. Over time, Harold notices that even picking up his grandchild or lugging a grocery sack becomes challenging. This difference in lifestyle choices doesn't just affect day-to-day convenience. It can dictate how well each man fares if faced with a health setback or injury. The exciting news is that you can improve grip strength no matter your age. Simple daily routines like repeatedly squeezing a stress ball or practicing with a spring-loaded hand gripper can make a real difference in a matter of weeks. Additionally, exercises such as carrying moderate-weight shopping bags, performing gentle dumbbell curls, or even regularly tending to a garden can keep your hands and arms strong. The core idea is consistency. A little effort daily can preserve and even build the muscle mass you need to keep performing tasks independently. Ultimately, grip strength is about more than how firmly you can shake someone's hand. It's a doorway into your overall muscular health and, by extension, a key indicator of how robustly you're aging. If you've noticed your grip feeling a bit weaker lately, view it as an invitation to work on overall muscle maintenance. By taking charge now through simple but consistent exercises, you could very well prolong not just your years, but your capacity to enjoy them to the fullest. Sign 3. The art of balance and stability. If you've tried standing on one foot recently, even for a few seconds, you might have discovered that balance is a skill we often take for granted until it starts to fade. For older adults, the ability to stand on one leg without tipping over isn't just a neat party trick. It's actually a strong indicator of lower body strength, coordination, and neurological health. Studies show that older individuals with solid balance tend to face fewer injuries and often retain their independence longer than those who become unsteady on their feet. Imagine two friends, Linda and Marie, both age 73. Linda begins each day with brief stretching exercises, followed by practicing a one-leg stand for 10 seconds on each side. Over time, she's built better core strength and heightened her body awareness. Marie, meanwhile, rarely thinks about her balance until she nearly trips on the edge of a rug. That minor stumble rattles her confidence, making her more cautious, which ironically leads her to move less and further weaken her balance skills. The contrast in their approach has significant implications for their future risk of falling and potentially fracturing a hip or another bone. Balance is multifaceted. It involves your vestibular system in the inner ear, your vision, the proprioceptive feedback from your feet and legs, and the communication pathways between your brain and muscles. When any of these components underperform, even slightly, you might notice frequent stumbles, the need to grab onto furniture, or a sense of dizziness. The ramifications can be severe. Falls remain one of the top reasons older adults end up in emergency rooms, and a single fall can trigger a cascade of health problems, from fractured bones to deep fear and reduced mobility. Thankfully, balance can improve with deliberate practice. Simple exercises like standing on one foot while holding onto a countertop for support, and then gradually relying less on that support, can work wonders. Heel-to-toe walking, where you place one foot directly in front of the other, challenges your body to stabilize itself more efficiently. Tai Chi, often dubbed meditation in motion, is another gentle yet powerful practice that combines slow, deliberate movements with mental focus, greatly enhancing balance and coordination. Even yoga poses like the tree pose, if done carefully, can fortify the muscles in your ankles, calves, and core. When it comes to gauging longevity after 70, balance functions as both an alarm and a safeguard. The inability to hold a simple one-leg stand signals that your neuromuscular system might be losing some of its agility. But by proactively engaging in balance exercises, you give yourself a chance not only to minimize the risk of accidents, but also to move about the world with greater confidence. In essence, focusing on balance is a practical investment that can pay off in mobility, independence, and peace of mind. Sign 4. The secret life of sleep patterns. Sleep is a universal need, yet the quality and consistency of your nighttime rest can diverge dramatically as you grow older. By the time you reach your 70s, you might notice changes like waking up more frequently, struggling to doze off, or feeling less refreshed in the morning. While some slight alterations in sleep architecture are normal with age, chronic insomnia or severely fragmented sleep can be a red flag. Experts have linked poor sleep among seniors to a host of issues, ranging from memory lapses to weakened immune response. Consider the experiences of Roger and Keith, both 76. Roger settles into bed by 10 p.m., reads for a short while under dim light, and typically sleeps through the night, waking briefly once to use the bathroom. He rises around 6 a.m. feeling relatively alert, ready for a morning cup of tea and a brisk walk. Keith, on the other hand, tosses and turns, staring at the ceiling long after midnight. Even when he does drift off, he finds himself waking multiple times, leading him to rely on daytime naps that further disrupt his sleep cycle. Over weeks and months, Keith notices that his mood dims, his memory falters, and he's more prone to minor illnesses. Why does sleep deteriorate for some individuals as they age? Changes in hormone production, particularly melatonin, can make it harder to initiate or maintain sleep. Additionally, medical conditions like sleep apnea or chronic pain can fragment sleep, leaving you groggy during the day. Psychological factors, including stress and anxiety, also play a significant role. Unfortunately, this sets up a vicious cycle. The more anxious you become about falling asleep, the harder it can be to calm your mind when bedtime arrives. However, healthy sleep hygiene can go a long way. Maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, helps regulate your internal clock. Creating a restful environment by minimizing light and noise and keeping electronics out of the bedroom signals to your body that it's time to wind down. Reducing or eliminating late-day caffeine can prevent those wide-awake feelings when you should be drifting off. Some people find relaxing bedtime rituals, such as a warm bath or light stretching, beneficial in lowering nighttime stress hormones. In many ways, the way you sleep is the way you heal. Deep, restorative rest aids in cellular repair, bolsters cognitive function, and regulates emotions. If you catch yourself heading into a pattern of restless nights and tiring days, don't brush it aside as an unavoidable part of aging. Instead, treat it as an essential area for improvement. Speak with a healthcare professional if necessary, especially if you suspect conditions like sleep apnea. Ultimately, prioritizing good sleep can sharpen your mental edge, strengthen your body, and potentially add healthier years to your life after 70. Sign 5. Appetite and nutritional habits. As we enter our 70s, it's not uncommon to notice a shift in our relationship with food. Maybe you don't feel as hungry as you once did, or perhaps you gravitate toward convenience meals rather than balanced, home-cooked options. While a minor change in appetite can be normal, a marked decline in hunger or a consistent reliance on nutrient-poor foods can be a red flag. Adequate nutrition is a cornerstone of longevity, fueling not just physical energy, but also cognitive clarity and emotional well-being. Take, for instance, Grace and Helen, both 74. Grace still savors her meals, consciously incorporating fresh vegetables, lean protein sources like fish, chicken, and complex carbohydrates such as whole grains. She has her indulgences, dessert with Sunday dinner, for example, but remains mindful of portion sizes and nutrient variety. Helen, conversely, has lost much of her interest in food. She might skip breakfast, nibble on crackers for lunch, and grab a sugary snack for dinner. Over time, Helen notices more fatigue, a weaker immune system, and even some muscle loss around her arms and legs. Several factors can dampen appetite in older adults. Certain medications alter taste buds, reduce saliva production, or cause nausea. Digestive changes, including reduced stomach acid and slower metabolism, can make large meals feel uncomfortable. Emotional factors like loneliness or depression can also lead to a decreased desire to eat. In any case, a declining appetite shouldn't be dismissed as trivial. Chronic undereating or malnutrition can pave the way for serious health problems, such as osteoporosis, anemia, and increased vulnerability to infections. Fortunately, there are strategies to rekindle a healthier appetite and ensure proper nutrient intake. Smaller, more frequent meals spread throughout the day can help. You might find it easier to eat 5 mini meals instead of 3 big ones, focusing on nutrient density. Incorporate high-protein snacks, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, peanut butter on whole grain crackers to help build and maintain muscle mass. Likewise, flavor enhancements using herbs and spices can reawaken dulled taste buds, making meals more enjoyable. Staying hydrated is crucial as well, especially since thirst cues can diminish over time and lead to dehydration. Remember, food is more than just fuel. It's an experience that can bring pleasure, social connection, and emotional comfort. If you sense that your appetite is slipping and your body is showing signs of malnourishment, like unintentional weight loss or constant fatigue, don't hesitate to seek help. By making an effort to eat balanced, appealing meals, you give your body the vitamins, minerals, and proteins it requires to maintain strength and vitality. It's a straightforward yet powerful way to extend both the length and quality of your later years. Sign 6. Stress resilience and emotional balance. Life doesn't automatically become stress-free just because you've entered your 70s. In fact, this phase can introduce its own unique pressures. Perhaps you're handling medical bills, coping with the loss of friends, or worrying about your adult children and grandchildren. Chronic stress, the kind that lingers and festers, acts like a slow-burning fuse on your physical and mental well-being. Researchers have long noted that excessive, unrelenting stress contributes to heart disease, high blood pressure, and a decline in immune function, all of which can shorten your lifespan. But what separates those who manage stress successfully from those who succumb to it? Let's compare Henry and Walter, both in their mid-70s. Henry practices daily mindfulness. He spends about 10 minutes each morning focusing on his breath, acknowledging his concerns without letting them spiral. He also keeps a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things he's thankful for before bed. Walter, on the other hand, hoards stress. His mind races with what-if scenarios, and he struggles with restless nights. Over time, Walter experiences more frequent health hiccups, colds, body aches, and spikes in blood pressure, signs that his resilience to stress is waning. One key to stress resilience is recognizing the events or thoughts that trigger anxiety and finding constructive ways to cope. Physical activities like walking or gentle yoga help release tension and boost mood. Creative outlets such as painting, knitting, or learning an instrument encourage a state of flow that distracts from worries. Social connections also play a big role in stress relief, as talking through problems with someone who cares can help you feel less alone in your struggles. Moreover, mental agility ties closely to stress management. Keeping the brain engaged through puzzles, brain training apps, reading, or learning new skills can improve problem-solving abilities and reduce the likelihood of dwelling on negative thoughts. In essence, an active mind is often a happier mind, more capable of bouncing back from life's inevitable frustrations and disappointments. Some experts also encourage cognitive behavioral techniques like reframing negative situations or consciously challenging the catastrophic thinking. Ultimately, high stress levels don't just make you feel tense and unhappy, they can accelerate the aging process by fostering inflammation and weakening key bodily systems. On the flip side, consistent stress management through mindfulness, physical activity, mental exercises, or social interactions has been correlated with better heart health, sharper memory, and an overall greater sense of well-being. If you notice you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, remember, you do have the power to lighten that load. Even a few small changes in how you process and respond to stress can have a tremendous impact on how well you age. Sign 7. Social connections and community bonds. Humans are inherently social creatures, and the value of having strong social ties only intensifies as we get older. Research has repeatedly shown that individuals who maintain healthy relationships, be it through family, friends, volunteering, or community groups, enjoy improved mental health, reduced stress, and often a longer lifespan. Loneliness, on the other hand, can act like a silent adversary, contributing to anxiety, depression, and a deterioration in physical health. Consider the stories of Claire and Nadine, both 80. Claire looks forward to her weekly book club, a community choir practice, and monthly luncheons with her old coworkers. Even though her knees occasionally ache and she deals with high blood pressure, she finds emotional support and practical help from the people she regularly sees. Nadine, meanwhile, lives in the same apartment building, but rarely engages with neighbors or attends local events. She feels increasingly isolated, often going days without meaningful interaction. While Nadine's physical ailments are similar to Claire's, her emotional health suffers more severely, which in turn takes a toll on her overall vitality. Why do social bonds have such a pronounced effect on longevity? Part of the explanation lies in how human contact reduces stress hormones like cortisol. When you share laughter, conversation, or even friendly debates, your body releases feel-good chemicals that counteract the negative impacts of stress. Additionally, friends and family can encourage healthier habits, inviting you for walks, cooking nutritious meals together, or noticing when you're feeling off and urging you to seek medical care. In essence, a supportive network acts as both a mental and physical safety net. Maintaining social ties can feel challenging, especially if you have mobility issues, limited transportation, or if many of your friends have relocated or passed away. Yet it's never too late to form new connections. Local senior centers, faith-based communities, adult education classes, and volunteer organizations are excellent avenues for social engagement. For those comfortable with technology, virtual gatherings, social media groups, or video calls can also provide meaningful contact. The key is to take the initiative, reaching out with a phone call, dropping by a community event, or re-establishing old friendships. In a broader sense, feeling connected grants a sense of purpose, a reason to get up in the morning, and something to look forward to in the days ahead. This sense of purpose can be a potent motivator for healthier behaviors, like regular exercise, better diet, and proactive stress management. Ultimately, the difference between a solitary life and one filled with supportive relationships can be the difference between merely existing and truly thriving in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. By now, you've explored 7 pivotal signs that can hint at how long and how well you might live after 70. It's crucial to remember that these signs don't operate in isolation. They often intertwine in significant ways. For example, poor sleep can leave you too fatigued to engage in social activities, thereby increasing loneliness and stress. A weak grip or poor balance might discourage you from exercising, which, in turn, could lead to more rapid muscle decline and potential weight gain or cardiovascular issues. Each sign, from walking speed to social bonds, is a piece of a larger puzzle that makes up your overall well-being. This interconnectedness is actually good news because improvements in one area can create a positive ripple effect elsewhere. Strengthening your leg muscles could boost your walking speed, reduce your risk of falling, and help you feel more confident about going out with friends. Learning to manage stress through mindfulness can enhance your sleep, reduce tension-related aches and pains, and promote better digestion. Making a point to cook more balanced meals can reignite your appetite and provide the energy you need to maintain an exercise routine. One small step, taken consistently, can gradually transform multiple facets of your life. As you reflect on these signs, an honest self-assessment can guide you toward the areas that need the most attention. Ask yourself, have I noticed a decline in my walking pace? Do I struggle to open jars or carry grocery bags? Is balancing on one leg for 10 seconds a challenge? How well am I sleeping, really? Am I skipping meals or settling for convenience foods too often? Do I find myself constantly worried or isolated? Each question is a stepping stone to deeper awareness. Awareness, in turn, enables you to take proactive measures, perhaps scheduling a checkup, starting a gentle exercise class, or making that overdue phone call to reconnect with someone. Change doesn't have to be overwhelming. Sometimes the most lasting transformations begin with the smallest shifts. Try adding a 10-minute walk to your daily schedule, gradually increasing to 15 or 20 minutes. Practice a one-leg stand while brushing your teeth, turning a mundane activity into a balanced challenge. Replace a processed snack with a bowl of berries or a handful of almonds. Write down one source of stress each evening, then brainstorm a single action you can take to address or lessen that worry. None of these steps require drastic overhauls, but collectively, they can make a monumental difference in your physical and emotional health. Ultimately, living longer is about more than just clocking additional calendar years. It's about maintaining the vitality that lets you enjoy the rewards of longevity. The choices you make today lay the groundwork for how you'll feel tomorrow and years down the road. If you find yourself resonating with any of these 7 signs, don't view them as cause for alarm. Rather, see them as valuable clues offering a roadmap to improvement. By cultivating better balance, stronger muscles, deeper sleep, healthier eating habits, stronger stress resilience, and more meaningful social bonds, you stand a far greater chance of aging with grace, purpose, and satisfaction. The road ahead is largely in your hands, and each day provides another opportunity to take a step in the right direction.